Well, this is the most exciting week of the year for many of you. It is the Conservative Party conference. I am joking, but from a property point of view, I have been looking out for any shred of evidence that this bunch of clowns have any incentive to do anything about this terrible property crisis. There are so many issues that they could address. The fact that there are 1 million granted planning permissions out there, that the big developers are just holding out to throttle the supply in order to keep prices up, to maximise their profits, and to make it difficult for smaller developers to actually take a chip out of their potential turnover. There's the 40% of planning permission in London that's never implemented. There's the 600,000 properties that could be renovated. What incentives could they offer everyday people to take these properties on and bring them back into use? As I've said before, the British public love property, they love renovating property. So why doesn't the government give everyday people the incentive and the means to actually renovate and improve these properties and bring more property back into use? Then there's HS2, high-speed railway network that could have made commuting from Manchester to London a reality. It wouldn't really have taken any longer than driving from the outskirts of Greater London. Adding a high-speed railway network throughout the country shouldn't have been one major decision. It should have been something that is constantly work in progress and a constantly extending network. In this day and age, it should be easier than ever to get from any part of the country to any other part, within reason, of course. And yet, at a time when they are pushing motorists off the road and forcing people to look at other means of travel, they have actually scrapped one of the most important high-speed connections from Manchester down to the southeast, which really makes no sense whatsoever. It makes as little sense as the fact that their budget climbed from 16 million, I believe, to well over 50 million. In fact, they've spent more on what they've done so far than what they should have spent on the entire project. Only a government in this country could mismanage a major project and the budget for such a major project to such a degree. Whilst it is fair to say that it's a more difficult task to do this in the UK than it could be would have been in Europe and perhaps many other parts of the world, that doesn't mean that it can't be done or that it shouldn't be done. I believe that it should have been work in progress, ongoing improvement and expansion of high-speed network in order to make it easier for people to have an alternative to the car, in order for people to be able to live in areas where they can afford, rather than be struggling trying to find somewhere to live in the southeast. Absolutely no planning, no implementation of any tangible, effective policy. All we've had is a Prime Minister who's trying to justify why he got himself into power by any means. And the highlight of the entire event was Suella Braverman using the words hurricane, too strong a word. I won't go into the political side of things here because that's not why you're here. I will rant about that elsewhere. My concern here is anything to do with property and the housing crisis, and I'm sorry to say there was absolutely nothing. And it makes no sense to me, because many of the options open to them to improve things wouldn't even cost them anything. But it might cost their friends in the large corporations. So perhaps we should look there for the answers. Disappointed. Love to hear your thoughts. That's all for now. Thank you very much. Bye bye, and I'll see you next time.